Welcome. Doing a different style of video today. So, there you are. Picture this. You're at a store, you're wanting to buy some cycling clothes, you're a bit confused and overwhelmed with all the options, and you're not really sure the salesperson is particularly helpful or giving you recommendations that you really like, and the stuff that you do like isn't in stock and you're not really sure, it seems really expensive. You kind of wish you could take a whole step back and figure out exactly what you need to not only get riding, be comfortable, just excel in any weather condition. Because the thing about cycling clothing, you're out there on the bike, it's just you and the bike. So your clothing is your best armor against the wind, the elements, the rain, the sun, the just everything. So this is going to be your guide that I wish I had when I got into cycling. And if someone showed me this now, I would be so grateful. If you stay to the end, I've got a lot of the more value-packed aspects there. So let's hop into it without any further ado. Okay, how to build an aesthetic cycling wardrobe on 1,000 AUD or hopefully less. Okay. And click. Where are we? There we go. Okay. So first we've got to start with where you want to be. And we need some type of inspiration. I've looked at a lot of photos and I've kind of got a sense of what seems pretty cool or what people would probably agree, yeah, that's sort of how I would like to look. And that seems to be nailing like the simplicity of what we're trying to capture. So here, this is really cool. You've got the mountains, the green. You've got the guy on the bike with the white helmet, white socks, white shoes. You'll notice that's kind of the theme as we go through these photos. The lighter color bibs on the bottom, which is the shorts with the pad, a vest, and then a green top. So just a contrast and kind of like the similar, not contrast, the analogous color scheme of the green. Just really cool. And I think it's great. This sort of similar. You've kind of got like the urban sprawl of like a city, like a little cafe. You've kind of got the brick, and then you've got these jerseys, a little bit of writing on it. So it could be like a team, but it's quite minimalist. Here as well, just really great. Light blue jersey, white socks, and black helmet. The only thing I don't love about this is the black helmet. I would probably recommend going with a white helmet. See, what I want to do is two things with this video. I want to kind of point out things where I can that are really going to help you and give you my insights because it's just going to be the best based on my experience. The black helmet in the summer isn't great because the heat will go into it and it will kind of more or less heat up your head too much and it's not fun. Your brain's right there. So I will eventually look into some studies and provide some further evidence, but it seems pretty obvious, like a common sense type of thing, that black helmet, not smart for summer. White helmet, great for summer, reflects the heat. Also works year round for added visibility. That stands out more. That stands out more than that. It's like it's just got no helmet on. It's just got hair. Okay, but other than that, rest of the fit cool. Love this skinny street. Not going to be any cars coming up and down here, so he's pretty safe. Okay, so this is probably what some of you are picturing when you're thinking of bike clothing, or what you're scared you don't want to look like, or you feel the cycling store will only sell this. And these are kind of like more of a bygone older school era. But there's a lot going on here, and I can understand it's an assault on the senses a little bit. But that being said, looking at these, that's kind of pretty nuanced. So is that to an extent as well. And like some of them aren't too bad, but kind of these are probably the more serial offenders, which will be like, oh, is cycling really for me? I don't know if I really want to, my friend see me in something like this. And that's kind of where this guide comes in, and I'm kind of like trying to steer you in a direction that I think you'll be proud of, and you'll want to like get on your bike and ride more, which is a win for everyone. It's a win for your weight. It's a win for like weight loss, your fitness, your health, everything, the environment. Everyone's going to benefit. Okay, so here we go. This kind of shifted away from that previous picture. And this kind of started with a brand by the name of Rafa, which is short for Saint Raphael. And this started in 2004. It's a homage to the older style of cycling, but kind of in a twist that's kind of quite just simple and not too over the top. So here, for example, this looks like potentially a white jersey, contrasting armband in black, white writing on here. Really simple. Just like this is something like, oh yeah, I could sort of get behind this. Like kind of the start of just a more toned down, relaxed, not everything all at once. And the cool thing with Rafa is they created a whole aesthetic, not just the outfit. So, for example, they started the whole thing of having a coffee store or a cafe in the actual retail store as well. So like the mixed retail and kind of hospitality space. Just that extra kind of, energy and kind of buzz of, people hanging out, getting a coffee. And you'll see this in every store. And as well as every store, they have this cultural thing called Rafa Rides, where you go there and they go for a ride and they go to certain spots. And it's a really cool community. And similarly, you can also be a club member with a subscription. They'll give you like a box and you'll get various things in it that are kind of special to a club membership. So that area might have a certain logo. For example, Rafa in Melbourne maybe, or Rafa in New York. You kind of get the idea. So they offer rides, club membership. And this kind of plays into another part of their aesthetic, which is how they kind of showcase their products, the functionality of them, and also the stories imbued in kind of the riders that they're capturing, the everyday people that we can relate to, that kind of help us to project onto there. So for example, I'll show you a couple of these stories. I'll show you this one first.
After 3 years trying to be professional cyclist, I decided that it was not my path. So I decided to quit competition.
So already here we've got him getting dressed, which I think is fantastic, showing kind of how he puts things on. He's got an underneath layer in black, and then he's kind of got a short sleeve jersey. So adding extra functionality to his short sleeve jersey to sort of make it last for more seasons.
And I discovered another kind of cycling. A cycling that it was just enjoy. It's quite different. I don't worry anymore about what's heart rate or anything. I just go out there and I have fun. I'm looking for mostly freedom and adrenaline. That moment when you're on the limit. I tried skydiving, but it's too short. I don't mind to go slow. Actually, it's really comfortable and you can see more the landscapes, but I prefer to go fast.
So what we have with this video is him showing how he's the bibs, these things have a external pocket. So he's showing the functionality of having an orange and a little paring knife to open that orange up on the ride. Now, of course, if you kind of fall, I know that knife's closed up, but that's something that can kind of jab into. But anyways, looks kind of cool. He shows him wearing a jacket, had a layer, how he kind of adds that when he's climbing down, and how when he's riding up the mountain, he unzips it for more airflow. All these things kind of work to show that. And similarly, I think this is an even shorter ad. It doesn't show as much of a story, but it helps to explain what the purpose of this is. Okay, so with this one, what they've gone and shown is, of course, the vest. And here, see this right here, that represents the insulation to the vest, which will help keep you a little bit warmer. and sort of in the cases of when he goes down the mountain, he puts it on so to equip himself against the wind. And the functionality of the two-way zip helps him in this scenario. I believe it was. He opens the bottom one and then he reaches into his back pocket to grab out his food. So he's eating on the ride. It's important to eat frequently on the ride to refuel yourself because you are burning quite a lot of carbohydrates per minute on the bike. So this is essential. And then, of course, he packs it away down here into the pocket. And then he brings it back out when he needs it. Like I said, he goes down the mountain. And, of course, like he's kind of trying to be cool. He does so without stopping on the bike. Of course, he's quite more experienced. I don't necessarily recommend that, but it does look aesthetic on a video, I'll agree. Okay, so what else does Rapha do? They do collaborations as well, which kind of help to bridge them more into having a unique spin on their fashion without being too, I'd say, too outside of their brand, still working with others. Of course, this one with Palace is, if you look it up, is pretty interesting. It's basically a lot of the pieces from 2020 are still can be found brand new because they're sought after in collection pieces, which are over $1,000, which is ridiculous. But there you have it. So that would blow the whole budget of this video out of the water. Another brand is MARP, locally in Australia, coming right out of Melbourne. These guys came out in 2014. The founders over here work in streetwear, surfboard brands, and I think for Stussy. So they've kind of got a sense of coming into this brand kind of with quite a fashion background to sort of again highlight those simple designs and have some like nice color blocking going on. Of course, you can see that there's a bit of written stuff on their logos here, but it's not too, I don't think it's too over the top. And a good thing about these guys is with the short sleeve jersey, it's quite long, which adds extra protection in terms of like say summer, and also would kind of, I guess, keep you a little bit, say, warmer in the spring seasons when there's a bit of a chill out. And I think it's just great because you don't have to apply as much sunscreen, and of course your skin is more protected, being that and that and that is the only part subject to the sun. Of course, these guys have collaborated with cycling sunglass brand 100%. They do a similar thing to Rapha. They have stories on their YouTube where they kind of show a journey of people going along on the bike. But what they've also done, which I think is fantastic, is they've got what's known as like these lookbooks, which are kind of like what you see the high-end fashion brands doing, where they show like how to wear their clothes. And I think this is fantastic because this is, of course, is based in the Adelaide Hills. So this is the start of the 2022 season because there's a big race event that comes to Adelaide at the start of each year. And so here, kind of to our old photos we saw before, nature green, nice olive jersey. I mean, it's quite a big, bold branding on there. But still, in terms of like the colors, like this is really simple. Just nice light blue, kind of a bit greyed, kind of go with a lot of things. She's paired it with a nice olive bib shorts. This guy getting dressed as well. Nice sort of vibrant orange, but it's been toned down a bit. So just kind of a little bit more greyed, but great visibility on this guy. And again, showing this girl, that guy, and then the other bloke, I believe, just kind of riding along and kind of doing their thing. So the shots of the outfits in nature, fantastic. And there we are again, just more photos and stuff. You can see how they're kind of creating a whole, like, look at this, like, that's great, really visible. White helmet, white socks. He kind of missed a memo. I think he's in the wash that day. But you kind of get the idea. So that's kind of, and you can also see, again, other shots. And similarly for that autumn winter, similar idea. Boom, we get a free water bottle. Just getting changed. Kind of a bit more color here. This is interesting. While it does have a bit more color going on, they're trying to showcase that they're using recycled materials and different offcuts of fabric swatches. But interestingly, these arms, because they're like gray, if you kind of wear a gilet or vest over the top, you might be able to get a bit extra versatility because that, and then say like a light green gilet will actually kind of blend quite seamlessly. But that's kind of like MARP. So they're kind of your two brands that you can look to for inspiration, which is kind of why I'm showing you this straight after that questionable history lesson I just showed you, to see kind of that there is brands like this on the market. But of course, I will caveat that you don't necessarily have to buy from these brands, which is why we're talking about an aesthetic and showing inspiration. That's them up as well. This is filmed in Adelaide, I believe. Navy bib, navy jersey. Here is again. This is great because it's nice light color, and you've kind of got like a similar hue that's quite analogous down here. This I really love because it's showcasing kind of how to look the part in the colder weather. So here he's got like a long sleeve, what looks to be a insulated jersey with a vest on top for a little bit of pop of contrast. Here, sort of the first photo we showed in the lookbook at the start of the video, he's wearing kind of the darker and potentially the lighter green here. Again, white socks, white shoes. This guy, I really love this outfit in this photo. It's just really cool seeing the shot over kind of the area. But for me, I'm just really drawn to this orange vest, which I don't think is too... I mean, neon's fantastic, don't get me wrong, but the beautiful thing about this is it looks like it can just go with a little bit more because it's a little bit more toned down. But I'm really drawn to it. So as a say person driving a car, would be extra points if you had a white helmet. I'd be more likely to say, okay, there's a cyclist here, be careful, it's catching my attention. Of course, if he pairs with a light at the back and front as well, which is also important, guys. Do not forget. Similarly here, love this, and these as well. They're all great. Light tops up top, a good amount of color, nice lighter green up the top, and sort of the olive, like I was saying, the analogous colors. This one I really love. He's gone olive with the contrasting, kind of similar to this one, but in the reverse. He's add that real pop of the orange vest. And you can see his smile, he's just shining. Everyone can see him, and he knows he looks the part. I really like this one, just the white jersey, and just toning it down a little bit with the brown to match kind of the brown bibs as well. This is really nice combo. And again, white helmet, white helmet, white helmet, white helmet, white helmet, helmet not pictured, white helmet, double thumbs up, extra visibility, just goes with everything. So, factoring all these photos, I've had to think about what I've actually used the most when I go for my rides over the, say, last 6 years, as well as what I use to commute to work on a daily basis, riding 5 times to work in the week. So it seems, compiled a list: 2 short sleeve jerseys, 3 bib shorts, a helmet, cycling sunglasses, gloves, a vest, long sleeve jersey, being 2 types, a insulated long sleeve jersey with like fuzziness, and then a long sleeve jersey with the sleeves in the style of kind of what you'll see here, like that. You can't really see it, but the style where it's a little bit waffly, it looks. And then, of course, a rain jacket, which is fantastic to keep the rain out, and extra chill, which is going to give you a little bit more protection from the elements of the vest. And white cycling socks. I'm not kidding. A million is probably an understatement. When you cycle, white socks are your friends. They go with everything. You'll get them dirty. You'll wear them. Eventually, you'll wash them, and they'll get a bit less white. So having fresh sets of white cycling socks in a quite plain style, everyone will love. They just, again, go with all the outfits. He forgot his that day in the wash. That's why he needs more white socks. That's why I'm saying this. And yeah, so based on that, I've had a look at like the Rapha store, and they've got a number of ranges of things, and I kind of just show you quickly. Now, this is their sale, which I'll get back to later, but men jerseys, they kind of have a range of jerseys in different weights, price points. So you see their Pro Team is $320, Brevet's $260, Core's $130. I've kind of taken the Core collection of most items and kind of used that to factor into building their price point up in terms of going through this. So you'll see as I walk you through it. Jersey $130, bibs $180, gilet, the vest, which we saw that guy have. This is the normal gilet, not the insulated one. $130, long sleeve jersey, the fuzzy one for extra warmth. Pair of gloves, because gloves you'll need to, in case you fall off the bike. extra grip, keep the cold out, prevent your hands from going numb. They're just all in all a win-win-win. Pair of white socks, $33, and a rain jacket, $230. This brings our total up to $948 Australian. We're not even factoring in a helmet or sunglasses. If we kind of got anything else apart from white socks, we'd blow the budget, and we've gone over 1,000. So based on this, it seems that we've really only technically got one outfit, but a number of ways we could wear it, because when you wear bib shorts, after every ride, you must wash them because they are quite gross. You do not wear underwear when you ride with bib shorts. Therefore, they need to be properly cleaned to prevent bacteria from accumulating and ending up in your nether regions, which is not great and will lead to even more discomfort. So please, people, wash your bib shorts, please. Okay, so this is kind of a bit sad because there goes our budget, and this video would be it, and it'd be quite sad, but not quite. There's more to it. There is also the archive sales for Rapha and Marp, and if I show you Marp's, they do have sales for stuff, but like it's still pretty expensive, like $165. These are kind of still more expensive than the prices we saw for Rapha's stuff, like bib shorts $295 still. Like it's really expensive. Like it's kind of hard to sort of say get these things. I did used to advise to go on Wiggle, but now they're UK only. So if you are in the UK, they will ship to you, but anywhere else in the world, they will not. They stock a brand by the name of DHB. Other websites stock it too, but Wiggle will have a great selection of them. Their bibs, DHB, I believe are $60, $70. They're really nice. Everyone raves them. They're just very simple looking bib design. But that's not all. I've gone a step further, and based on all the riding I've done, I've kind of gotten some clothing from Rapha, Marp, lots of brands over the years. And I kind of find that this brand right here, I've used quite a lot of their things. I actually strongly stand behind what they offer in terms of a value proposition. And for the purposes of this video, their brands come a long way in terms of kind of having those really like solid, like color blocking outfits where it just, you can add stuff together and it seems quite capsule wardrobe-esque, like kind of what we're trying to achieve. So without further ado, we'll launch onto it. And let's see, here we got Merry Christmas, a bit early, but so you've got like this beautiful gilet jacket. Now I'm not sponsored by these guys in any way, shape or form. Everything I purchased from them, I purchased with my own money. But you'll see like short sleeve jersey, longer sleeve jerseys, kind of like pretty cool and pretty good prices. You'll see we are not kidding. You can pinch yourself if you want. And just more stuff here. Great value. So they've got everything from bibs to jerseys to gloves. So I've kind of already looked at this list and kind of looked at a lot of things. And I have basically done a sum here where I've said, well, what can we get from AliExpress? So this is where you want to shop for Spexel stuff. They do have their own website, but I think personally, it's just better to ship from Spexel. That's where they fulfill pretty much all their orders. Their shipping's not too bad. You can get DHL. It is on the expensive side. However, their normal shipping EMS comes with tracking numbers, and they've got pretty decent or pretty okay customer service, in which they'll do their best to respond and update you with what's going on with the orders. So, starting with the classic bib shorts, you can get 3 of them for $69 as a 23 each. I've got these. I've got about 5 of them that I've used over the years, and I really rate them. They're a great bib short for, say, doing probably no more than 50, 55 Ks, probably no more than 2 hours on bike total riding time. It's just that I noticed that as you kind of push it a little bit longer, the pad can start to feel a little bit uncomfortable on those rides. But in the case of being $23 on shorter commutes to work, it's really like a no-brainer because you feel like you can just thrash it and not have to worry because you can just always get heaps. And similarly, if you kind of want to step it up another level, they have a summer performance bib short, which is, I think it's even though it says summer, I think it's still all year round, which come in a bit more colors. Like they've kind of got like a nice dark brown and nice light beige to kind of go with what we're seeing before in terms of how to have that like analogous color scheme where you might have like a mustard top and then like a beige bib shorts, or like a lighter brown jersey and then the darker brown bib shorts, for example. And they're going to run you $40 each. These are, again, Australian prices. Spectral jerseys, the short sleeve summer jerseys with the kind of the long arm, which again, double thumbs up from me. I'm going to run you anywhere between $32 and $50. So for 3 is $96 and for 53 is $150. Now the insulated rain jacket, which is kind of like what we saw on that ad, is going to be $43 that they have. Oh, wait, no, not, yeah, like the ad, like, so with that material, but all kind of more in the jacket, I guess. Of course, with the sleeves, that's a great deal. And then similarly, a lightweight windproof gilet, there is $28. So again, extra versatility. You got long sleeve summer jersey. You can get 2, total $66. And the long sleeve thermal jersey is $38 each. Again, just you can see all this already. We've got lots of outfits to play with, especially being able to interchange and add the jacket and gilet. Lots of bibs to wash. No short finger gloves and long finger gloves, $14.22 respectively. White fluoro yellow, fluoro blue plain socks, 76 cents each, comes to 10 for $7.60. So we can't, for $1 million for 1 million of them, it still cost a lot, but you know, these are good prices. Helmet, we've got the Oakley Aero 3 in white, which I've got. Now helmet, I'm just picking a white helmet. Helmets are a bit more nuanced in terms of how they'll fit on your head. So I might say this is great for me and fits me really well. Don't buy this off the internet because it might not fit you right. You want to go into bike stores and actually try this on. I cover this in my cycling ebook, Life Cycles. Sunglasses is a different story. Most sunglass shops have Oakleys, so they're pretty easy to try on, and they'll pretty much go with you, most things. White, again, white, it just goes with everything. This total comes to $793, which includes the 2 sets of gloves, 6 bib shorts. That's insane. So you've got it at savings of under $1,000. So you already tick that big box. You can get anything else from here that you really wanted to. Or you could invest in a power meter, lights, or gravel shoes, which is shoes like clip-on shoes. Now, based on the above, what we've shown or added up, I'm so generous by putting it all together, we've got 6 pants, 6 tops, 2 layering options, which is a gilet or the insulated rain jacket. This comes to a basic calculation of 72 outfits for less than $1,000. Compared to our first example, where we have to wash our bib shorts and pray that they dry every night, the thing is, bib shorts, because they have the pad, they are going to take a little bit longer to dry because there's a foam. So unless you live in a really, really warm place or can have them basically under the heater, it's going to take a while to dry. So it might not dry overnight. So then, this is all great, what you're saying, Sal. And, you know, this is really helpful for showcasing how to add this all up. But what does it mean visually? And look, I get it. I've kind of just given you a bunch of descriptions and prices, which is part of the story, but doesn't hark back to what this is, right? So based on this, I've thought long and hard about how to curate what colors to get from here. And I will show you in the following slide. Close your eyes first if you want to visualize how your wardrobe's going to look, and then bam, open. So we have up the top the insulated rain jacket in a nice khaki, a white gilet. This is quite a thin one. If we go, we can play with this and see, we can go this green one and then kind of pair with pretty much all these options pretty easily, but just for added simplicity, that white will also pair really, really nice with all of these options. So here are your 2 long sleeve thermal jerseys with the fleeced inner. Here's your long sleeve summer jersey to keep you nice and safe in the summer. And you've got 3 colors here, white, olive, and light beige. Of course, you can get 3 of those instead if you don't like olive or white, or 3 whites, whatever your choice. These are the cheaper end bibs. I figured there's no point showing all 6, but again, these are kind of your black bibs. It's really simple. 2 sets of gloves. Now, you might not like kind of some of this, but similarly, if you want to go down more of a red-pink route, you can kind of integrate that vest up there. You can have, like they have, I think, a pink jacket to this. You can go with that for the short sleeve, and then darker, and then this nice red, which will pair nicely with that. This is a light purple, pairs nicely with that, kind of harking back to that idea there. You'll see, and then we'll basically just showing, and then again, if you want more greens instead of the orange and the brown, you can integrate that for that, and that for that, and then similarly that for, if you like that really pop mint, almost Tiffany blue green, pop in for there. That, you know, is a bit lighter than that, and then that is kind of, it looks similar, but to that, so that kind of matches and looks cool. But yeah, I'm just giving you options, and this is kind of what I think is super helpful. And what you can actually do as well, you can kind of go on these websites and start to pull it together on a blank page and start to see how it would actually look without having to drop a single dollar, which is actually insane value and a crazy good idea if you think about it. So of course, I've kind of dumped a lot of information on you. And I think, as I've stated, the biggest value is more towards the end when we can pull this all together. And of course, so this is the white helmet and then the white sunglasses. And that way you can see and start to close your eyes, visualize this in your wardrobe, and see yourself actually getting ready and putting outfits together in a kind of way that we see that the people from the Rapha story got dressed. And just having fun and looking forward to cycling without that fear of like, have I paid too much? I'm not really sure this goes with that. I don't really know what I actually need to get. Whereas what I've just described is probably a great start that's going to cover you for all year round. Look, it won't cover you for, say, an extreme winter in certain circumstances, but it will give you enough that you can deal with a certain amount of winter. And of course, this will vary based on where you live. But if you live in an area that's mostly sunny and with a not too crazy winter, not too cold, this is probably going to be all you'll need, really, which is fantastic if you think about it. Now, I will give you a caveat. Of course, if you have this wardrobe, you look fantastic, you will ride heaps, you will lose weight, you will crush it fitness-wise. So you probably have to get even more stuff because you'll find that this stuff is too loose on you eventually. Now, a point to mention about, say, Rapha and Marp. I think Rapha do, not sure if Marp do. If you lose weight, they'll actually let you somehow go down a size, which is awesome. These brands, Spexel, won't let you do that, but considering the price that you're saving, you could probably just like either donate this to another cyclist or sell it and probably make some money back, because these are pretty, cool classic kind of designs and colors, and like the quality is pretty good as well, I'd say. So that kind of gives you an idea of like how I want you to dress yourself to, as I talked in a previous video, have that belief in your identity that when I said, I wasn't feeling really confident about being on the bike because I had a cheap jersey that was like the top and the pants, and I didn't really feel inspired and I felt a bit embarrassed. If your friends saw you in like this wardrobe, which make you look basically like these, they'd be like, holy crap, I want to do that. Like, that looks sick. Opposed to if you were like in this and you were like, oh, I don't want anyone to see me. Like, you can start to see kind of how it all comes together and how like you become an inspiration and like a leader for others around you, which is super, super cool, I think. And of course, it just gives you that option, like being able to think deeply about this before you kind of venture out. And like I've said, I've given you some brands, and if you're not sure how to pair it together, just go back to Marp, go back to Rapha, look on their Instagram, look on their YouTube stories, look at their lookbooks, see how they put outfits together, and be like, oh, okay, cool, that's how they do it. Now, of course, there are a lot of cycling jerseys and things I've talked about here. If you'd like to understand more about what they do, why I've recommended what I've recommended, basically, I have an ebook by the name of Life Cycles, and the first component of the book, which is kind of getting the bike and getting the right clothing for you, touches what these things do and has a bit more of an in-depth breakdown, as well as how to be safe on the bike. So the visibility of like the white helmet, adding fluorescent through socks and other aspects. I have so much more value just in that book. This video would be hours long if I had to go through all of it. But what I'm trying to give you is a taste and sense of something I wish I had when I started riding to help inspire you. So of course, if you'd like to kind of understand what I actually want to get into cycling, what bike do I want, what do I wear, what do I eat, how do I train, how do I recover, all that stuff and more is covered in depth by me based on my own personal experience in Life Cycles, over 160 pages, 80 citations. I've looked at the research, I've put it all together for you, I've made it really user-friendly. I've got some really good explanations of when to do things, when to not, when to get bike cleats, what to use before that. Just simple things like that you're like, oh, that makes so much sense. I'm so glad someone took the time to explain this to me. Now, I can understand that potentially you might want something more, or you might want a bit more of a personal one-on-one touch, which is no problem. So the other link below, the first one below, should be to Life Cycles, which you can click and go through and purchase that. That would really help out the channel and help out me to give you even more amazing content to sort of fuel this dream. And then also I offer one-on-one coaching services, which for 60 minutes, I can help you, for example, curate a wardrobe for you, similar to how I've done this, adding a budget in mind, adding the nuance of where you live in the world to help basically give you that confidence and have that done for you method so you don't have to worry. And I can even help you get the perfect bike for you if you just tell me a couple of key details. Now, all these things and aspects with the consultation are actually covered off. Like, I ask you a number of key questions and you pick a date that works for you, that works for us. So that way, kind of, I do a lot of the front end work. So when we have the discussion, I give you that value add, opposed to sort of being like, tell me a couple of things, I'll think about it, I'll come back. Whereas I can kind of front load a lot of that and answer some of your more pertinent questions to give you that extra value. So that's kind of the extra help I'm seeking to explain that I can offer to you. And yeah, so just to sort of summarize this, white helmet, white sunglasses, white socks, go with everything. Black bibs are great. You can wear like olive bibs or brown bibs as well. That's also a great way to switch it up, but black bibs will literally go with everything. Consider the weather as well. Go through kind of how I've gone about this. Go on the websites and play around with what colors you like to sort of get a sense of building your perfect wardrobe. And of course, with sizes, make sure you have a tailor's tape, because they have measurement guides and you have to kind of measure key regions of your body, which they'll explain to help you get the sizing right. And of course, understand that Lycra as a material does stretch a bit, so there is a bit of give, but certain materials like certain jackets may not give as much as a jersey will, so just bear that in mind. But yeah, I've effectively given you everything you'll need to know to not only to, of course, conquer mountains, conquer life, but conquer mountains, conquer life in a way that you're comfortable, you're inspired, you've got that identity, you're proud to be a cyclist, you're crushing it as a cyclist. You look at your wardrobe before you ride and you're inspired, you know what to wear, you save time, you save so much money opposed to having to just spend on this. You're getting so much more through, say, this, and just looking like an absolute champion and like an elite level cyclist for just like a baller budget, like not a whole lot, but by being smart and listening to kind of my advice I've given you today, you will easily conquer the mountains and then conquer life through this awesome aesthetic cycling guide, which I have done for you. Thank you. Conquer mountains, conquer life.